Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome to those of you who are seasoned veterans. What we do around here is we try to bring about conversations of a psychological, emotional, and mental health paradigm. We try to do that as often as we can, usually several times per week, and we do that for your listening pleasure. We've got nearly 800 audios available for your listening pleasure. Probably should get there sometime this week, if not this weekend. And there's a variety of topics. If there's something you'd like to see covered that hasn't been, please feel free to reach out, and we'll make that happen for you. So, if you are looking for coaching, would love to be of assistance to you in that way as well. Please feel free to reach out at PO Perception on Twitter or in the About Me section of this YouTube page. In any event, would love to be helpful to you wherever we can. And so, 6 questions to ask yourself when you're trying to kind of think about the value of what you're accomplishing in your daily life. The first is, what's my mental state? And obviously the mental state is a constantly evolving and changing thing, so you're never going to have the exact same mental state on a consistent basis. However, finding ways to get to a more positive mental state, or at least a neutral mental state when you're feeling overwhelmed, is something that you need to learn how to do in a consistent and focused manner. The better that you're able to do that, the easier it will be to get where you want to be, both personally, professionally, and emotionally. A lot of times people don't necessarily put enough time and energy into finding the ways in which they can reach their own levels of standards of happiness and the things that matter to them most. The next is, what are the standards that you're holding that make you truly happy? So oftentimes people set themselves up for a certain level of negativity or self-defeating nature because their standards for what makes them happy can be quantified by more money, more power, more influence. When you cannot be happy with where you are in the moment, it becomes significantly harder to achieve lasting, sustainable emotional balance. When you're always chasing the dragon, so to speak, metaphorically, you're also setting yourself up for feelings of loss as it relates to not being enough. If you are not feeling that you are enough on a constant enough basis, you'll actually send yourself into a mental and emotional health tailspin, because continual rejection or continual disappointment will change the neurosynaptic function of your brain in a way that's not healthy, useful, or beneficial to you in the short or long run. The next is dealing with your shadow self. So the shadow self is the self that we try to hide away from others. Usually some people call it the dark side, or the side of the self that we don't want people to see. It's not truly dark at all. It's just the acceptance that we're not always as happy as we appear. Sometimes people try and fake it till they make it because they think that's going to make them better people. They think it's going to make them smarter, wiser, healthier, or more influential, to never admit that they have flaws or issues that they're dealing with. The problem with this way of being, in simplest form, is that it's not sustainable. When you don't deal with your shadow self, that is, the part of you that deals with depression, the part of you that deals with anger, the part of you that deals with overwhelm, the part of you that deals with sadness, you're setting yourself up for an eventual crash. Most people don't realize that when they push something down long enough, eventually it comes out in their physical health or their mental health or their relational health. And then you have sometimes months or years of cleanup after engaging in behaviors that don't foster meaningful, lasting relationships in a way that makes sense for everyone around you. The next is, what is the legacy you want to leave? I know for me personally, the legacy I want to leave is I want to have helped as many people as possible. Other people, their legacy is having a certain career or a certain level of fame. Other people, it's being debt-free. Other people, it's having success with their family, or being influential in their religion, or helping as many people as possible. Each individual has to find the legacy that makes sense for them to pursue, and then pursue it with all of their heart, and then also look at the possibility that they may need to change and alter the way in which they pursue this legacy so that they can have more joy and enjoyment in daily living. Sometimes when we pursue something so deeply that we don't realize it's negatively affecting us, we can actually end up winding ourselves up in a negative direction without even realizing the effect it's having on us. The last thing to think about is the level of routine that a person is willing to engage in. So what that means simply is a level of routine. In other words, what things are you doing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis that lead you to get where you really want to be in a long run, or get where you really want to be in terms of the types of things that you want to accomplish. Are you using your time efficiently? Are you doing things on a daily basis that'll enable you to get closer to your goals, or are you waiting for something else to happen and giving away your personal power to things that will not get you where you want to be in the long run or in the short run of things? The better you use your time, the easier it is to reach your goals, and this can be super helpful to you to be able to establish. So hopefully this is helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.